on my way now. I'm on my way now. I'm on my way now.
Today we are settling into RV life. We are beyond excited. If you haven't watched last week's video, we filled all you guys in on our major life updates. You know, we sold our home and now we have a home on wheels.
Yeah, and we've been testing it out, seeing if RV life is for us this week. We are in Cape Breton and we've been waiting an entire year to do this. Believe it or not, if you watched our last video, you know this. We bought this over a year ago and now we're finally getting to try it out.
If you don't know who we are for some reason, it's Trevor, Anna, Delightful Travelers. Hit subscribe. If you do know who we are and you watch every week, thanks for coming back.
So to be more specific, we are actually in Brador. It's only a few minutes away from Trevor's parents' house and also a lot of department stores. So we've been trying to work out the kinks, make sure we actually know how the RV works and that everything works properly. And we've made a few runs to Canadian Tire and Trevor's dad has been here a couple times to help us out.
The other thing we were talking about, I mean, I feel like you're supposed to name these things. Do we need a name for the RV? We need their help and name for maybe the FJ.
Yeah, we were trying to throw around a couple of names because yeah, if we're going to be taking this on the road, we need some names. One we threw around for the FJ was Scout, because you know, it's like our vehicle that's going to take us places, we're going to detach and then we can go places in Scout. I don't know, maybe you guys have some better ideas, but if we went with that, then what do we name the RV?
I mean, do we just call it something simple like Bob or George?
I don't know.
So I think we figured out our setup outside here. We wanted it to be really cozy. We got some chairs. Of course, you have to have camping chairs. And we got this rug, and that really makes a difference. I mean, we found it does anyway.
Yeah, I really like the rug. I actually thought when we first bought it, when opened it up, that it was massive, but I think that's a really good thing. Maybe at some campsites it'll be too big, but we maybe need to get some pegs for the side.
Definitely.
It's a little windy today. It's actually a little bit better now, but this morning it was super windy. We had to put chairs down on the side, like camping chairs, to hold it down from blowing away.
So we're complete first timers here, but we'll show you how we're getting along in the back with all the hookups. This is one of the most, I guess, intimidating parts.
It was what we were really nervous about, and we didn't even know if we could do it. Like if we knew the ins and outs, we watched lots of YouTube videos to try to figure stuff out, but I think we've got it down now. We have a method with our black tank and our gray tank. It doesn't seem too bad so far. That was the black tank was really what I was super nervous about, but it's been pretty good. I think we have a good setup. We went and bought these things the other day.
Yeah.
Like, rest this on so it's not
and then
it's kind of a flatter.
There's a heater in here that you have to light. We have that going now. Also, we bought this sewer hose, which seems to be one of the better ones, and a surge protector for the power because we hear there can be surges sometimes.
Yeah, that was on the list of things to get. I don't know, for some of you guys you might find the RV stuff kind of boring, but if you are interested in like the different things that we bought, even on the inside, let us know in a comment, because we did buy like a lot of sort of space-saving stuff inside because it's really, really small. So that's something that interests you. Maybe you live in a small apartment or you just like small spaces. Let us know in the comments and maybe we'll make a video about it.
Before we get any further in this week's video, we wanted to say a huge thanks to the sponsor, Hover Air X1.
The Hover Air X1 is a pocket-sized self-flying camera that makes capturing every moment so easy.
You guys always ask us how we get our cool shots. Well, this little thing is a game changer. Here's some things we love about it. It's easy to use. You can get this going in seconds to truly capture the moment.
And you also do not need to be a drone pilot to use it, and there's no complicated controller. It's also very, very safe to use, and you can literally launch it and land it directly from your hand.
It's easy to pack. You can take it anywhere with you. It actually folds up and you can fit it into your pocket, and it's very, very lightweight. It has a unique follow mode of up to 25 kilometers per hour, and it will keep you in the frame no matter what you're doing, including cycling or running. We basically get a third-person perspective without having a third person, which allows us to get angles we could never do on our own. This is a big deal for us because it's rare to get shots of both of us. We're usually filming each other.
It also has different modes you can select by just a press of a button, and because of this you can get a bunch of interesting shots and angles you never could before. Not only can you create videos, but it also has an image mode and it supports sound recording as well. We can literally take this little guy anywhere in the world with us, from cities to beaches to islands and of course camping trips like this.
We're also going to guess that your current phone or camera cannot follow you like the Hover Air X1. To get your own Hover Air X1, head to the link in the description below.
And of course, a huge thank you to Hover Air X1 for sponsoring this video and supporting creators like us.
So you may have noticed in the background this beautiful lake. We are on the Brador Lakes, which are absolutely incredible here in Cape Breton Island. Cape Breton Island is one of the most beautiful places in all of Canada. The campground we are on is called Arm of Gold Campground as well, and this campground has so much to offer. We are going to take you guys around a little bit later in the video just to show you, because some of the views around here and just the things you can do are so much fun.
The Bredor Lake is actually really interesting. I didn't know much about it before we started spending more time here in Cape Breton. You'd think being a lake, being called a lake, that it would be entirely freshwater, but it's not. It's actually brackish. It has a couple of connections to the Atlantic Ocean, which is how you get in there. I think there's only a couple of ways in. And people come sailing from all over the world just because I think it's relatively calm once you get inside. So it's a mixture of saltwater and freshwater. So that, as I said, it's connected to the Atlantic, but there's also a few rivers that run into it as well.
Yeah, look at the view though, you guys. You get these two colorful Adirondack chairs. Well, there's the lake. You just saw that, I believe. And then our setup is right there. This is pretty sweet.
We have a nice view. It's funny because we've driven by this campground so many times. Like when we're coming from Halifax and going to Trevor's parents' house, which we've done for the almost 20 years that we've been together, we drive by this place and you kind of see the campers that are over closer to the road, which is not as appealing. I didn't realize that you can come all the way back here and have an incredible view. So if you watched last week, you would have already seen the inside of this place, but if you didn't watch, definitely go and do that, because we did a lot of changes here and you're going to be surprised how different it looked before compared to how it looks now, which we're really happy with, by the way. One thing about working out the kinks this week has been being in here and make sure it's kind of functional, right?
Yeah, that's been the test. That's why we didn't go too far from my folks' house in case we have an emergency, or again, even far from department stores. And that's been a big thing. We had to run there a few times. I think we already said that as well. But so far, so good. This feels like a little modern, lofty condo out in the wilderness, which is what we were going for. We love the inside, but I'll tell you what I don't love. I always forget when I come back to Canada at this time of year, around like mid-June to mid-July, I get terrible spring allergies. Like, I wake up sometimes, my eyes are basically almost shut. I'm sneezing. It's like a constant cold, so it's hay fever overload. I'm curious how many of you guys get that, because next year I'm already thinking about just not coming back until
we literally say that every year, and then we always end up here at the same time. We come back for summer and then he gets this horrible spring hay fever.
It's worth it because it's beautiful, but at the same time it's annoying to have a constant, like, almost like a cold for an entire month.
So as far as functionality goes, considering how small this is, I think it's pretty good. There's still a few changes I want to make, but like the closets are great. We put some bins on the bottom just to throw stuff in, and then there's stuff to hang, like hangers, and plenty of space. We each have one closet. There's lots of plugs around. One thing I think I'd like to do in the future, especially if we were taking this on the road for a few months at a time, there's actually a big storage thing in here, but you have to lift up the mattress and everything, and it's a little inconvenient to do that. So I'd love to take this front off and then put some like cubbies in there so you can just reach in and pull stuff out. That would, I think,
probably
be a game changer.
A future project, huh?
Yeah. But we just got some things like, you know, stuff to just store random stuff in. That's really the hardest part about a really small space, is like, where do you put sunglasses and just random stuff? So we will probably continue to do that just to make it a little bit more functional. There's lots of storage under there, but still not as convenient, so I'd probably put the stuff that we use a lot in there, under there, if we ever did that. And then the kitchen is obviously important. We've been cooking in here pretty much every day. We have a small little barbecue that goes outside, which is great if it's underneath in the storage. I do find this fridge small. It's funny because, yeah, some of you guys might know we have a tiny house. We're in the process of selling it right now. I love that it's almost the same size fridge, but it's just way more functional. The other one, this one, not my favorite, but I'll figure it out. But using actually this for storage, I think we have all our bread in here right now. We don't really use the microwave that often, but 2 hobs here works just great for us. And we also bought a little air fryer too, which we keep stored under there. So we can mainly do everything except really like bake anything big, which I wouldn't do very often anyway.
So for both of us, one of the most important things was to have a table that could fit us both easily. Like, we noticed when we tried out some other RVs, the table here would be really tight. This one is really relaxing, plus there's a plug below. So that was important. We can fit 2 laptops here with ease, and we have power right there. The other cool thing is I can set up a laptop here, and the 2 of us can sit this way and kind of lounge and watch a movie or watch some Netflix or something like that. So yeah, the space is really functional, it's really bright, and I think you can probably tell we love it.
Again, we want to reiterate that we are not turning into an RV channel. I know some people are just really not interested in RV life, and we don't plan on turning this into an RV life channel. basically this, once we name it, is going to be a character in our story that comes up, you know, every once in a while. We'll spend a few months at a time traveling in it. It's not going to be all about renovating it or what it's like to live in it. It's really going to be us traveling on the road with it, and it's going to be about the destinations more so than the RV life. And of course, you know, we'll be in here once in a while, but it's just not going to be a big thing. You'll notice, like, we didn't do a big video or multiple videos on the renovation. We just kind of showed you the before and after, because that's not what we're about.
Really, this is going to help us get around Canada and the States more.
Exactly.
That's the biggest reason we wanted to get it.
Absolutely. And we love small spaces. We're both really, really great in small spaces. We're fine in hotel rooms. We have a tiny house, as we said. We previously lived in a very, very small condo, so that's something we're really comfortable with as well.
All right, enough talking. I'm hungry. Are you?
Yes.
It's time to get some food. So for lunch today, we have come over to the famous A&K Lick-A-Chick. Yes, that is the name. It's like an old retro diner. You can see the inside here now. To be completely honest, we were looking for a good excuse to finally get the A&K Lick-A-Chick. I just love the name, Lick-A-Chick, in a video. And today's the day. We got some of their very popular deep fried chicken. Kind of like, think KFC, but more local. I think it's like the only one. Get some taters here. We switched it out. I believe we got some coleslaw. We got some gravy. We're gonna dig in and we're gonna show you guys what the Lick-A-Chick is all about.
I have to admit, I'm really excited to finally try this. I don't think I've ever had it before. Maybe when Trevor and I were first together, but I don't think so. And it seems the consensus from locals seems to be all over the place. Some people love it, some people not so much. So I'm curious, is it good? Am I gonna like it? I must say, on the outside, it looks amazing. They have some awesome looking breading on it. You can kind of see like pepper or herb, like different spices
Look
in
how
there.
big that
So, I know,
is.
it's monstrous. We got a 4-piece to share, and it's huge. Glad we didn't get our own each, but let's actually try this. Okay, first bite. I'd say the chicken really, really tender and nice and juicy. The outside, definitely peppery. So if you're not a big pepper fan, or you don't like, I'm not gonna say it's spicy, but if you don't like a little bit, tiny little bit of that, you're not gonna be into this. It's funny, we actually live in the Dominican Republic most of the year, for those of you that didn't know that, and they've got some amazing fried chicken there, but very, very different than this. I'd say most of the time we get it in the DR, a little bit more crunchy on the outside, and then really, really moist on the inside, whereas this, I would say, isn't as crunchy. Maybe it depends how you like it. I prefer it a little bit crunchier than this, but at least it's really, really delicious batter, and the chicken itself really good.
I'm beyond excited to try this. It has been years, like so long, and here we are, finally an excuse to put it in the video and just try. I mean, that's part why we got the RV. Now we can maybe get to more some of these like kind of local places where not a lot of people know about. But let's just do it. I'm diving right in as well. Oh yeah, that's the stuff. This just brings back childhood memories. I remember the skin specifically. Like Anna said, it's really peppery, but this one is a little bit crunchy. The meat is super good as well. Tons of flavor. It kind of just smacks you across the face at the same time. One thing we also did was we got some gravy. I remember as a kid just getting gravy with this. It doesn't come with it normally. Just to dip that chicken in there. And as you can imagine, it makes it even better. Finally, back to the Lick-A-Chick. If you guys are coming to this location, you have to try this. It's so, so good.
So most of the combos typically come with crinkle cut fries, but instead we swap them out for these wedges, which I'm not regretting at all. They're really battery on the outside, and I'm gonna guess really yummy and hot on the inside.
I would think too.
We also nice and crunchy.
I know. We also got some coleslaw, and it comes with the roll. All in this big box. It's kind of overflowing when you get it, huh?
I have to say how good this gravy is. I know you just mentioned that, but I'm really glad we went for it. When Trevor mentioned, like, we gotta get gravy, I kind of thought to myself, fried chicken with gravy, but not a mistake.
We're now back at the campground here, and we thought we'd take this time to show you guys around because we're quickly realizing there's a lot to do here, And in general, we didn't think this way about campgrounds before.
We didn't, well, honestly, I didn't really put a whole lot of thought into campgrounds because we weren't RVers and we weren't really campers, so it wasn't really something that I thought about or really crossed my mind. But now that we're going to be spending time at them, you start to realize that a lot of them have some really cool amenities like pools or beaches or like boats you can rent. Here they have some different things.
Yeah, we'll show you. Well, first off, this campground is all about those views, and you can see this beautiful church as well. Now we have, well, an army of Airstreams here.
Yeah, we've been here for quite a few days now, and there's like an Airstream convoy of some sort happening, and there was a group of them, and they all seem to leave, and now there's a second group of them. Is this like a big Airstream thing? Do you guys see this around North America, around the world, that all the Airstreams get together?
Yeah, I didn't know this is a thing. Like, you can see, if I go this way, they have numbers, and I don't know if they all kind of get in groups like Harley people would.
Yeah,
like,
I don't know. It seems like, at least here, we've seen like probably 30 of them over the past week or so. As much as we are enjoying our setup, having honestly a little bit of Airstream envy. We spent a lot of time like researching different setups, different rigs, all the different things, and Airstream is always at the top of like the dream list, but probably 4 to 5 times what we paid for what we have here now. So maybe someday, if we like really enjoy this lifestyle, we'll invest in one, but for now we'll just be envious.
It's like little tiny cabins you can stay at here, so that's kind of cool. Different kind of accommodations.
When I've been looking up different campgrounds, it seems like it's a common thing that they offer some sort of accommodations. If you don't have your own setup, you don't have either a camper or camping setup, you can come and stay in a little cabin.
Well, you can also do this here. Now this is a feature I've not seen on a campground.
Oh, interesting. I was also wondering how there are helmet laws here in Nova Scotia, how they're dealing with that. And I thought maybe people are just sticking to around the campground, but they actually give you a helmet. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, someone even thought about getting cute bikes.
They're so cute.
Like lime green. I like them. There's also these old tractors around everywhere. You'll see them throughout the property, but right now we're about to go inside the barn here. Well, this place is super cool. You can see all these tables and chairs. Now, they told us it was for different kind of events, but what I didn't know is sometimes there is music in here. We heard something going on the other day when we checked in, but we didn't get time to make it in here. But there's all kinds of old things in here. You'll see some old kind of sofas and couches. There's actually like 2 different pianos as far as I can see, and you're gonna see all these kind of like yellow beams up there. I love that they kept that intact. It had so much character. Well, if you have kids, you'll be happy to know there's a playground right next to this cool Westphalia, but now, well, I'm in the bottom of the barn. What is this?
So this downstairs area they really took advantage of, and there's basically like games, a shuffleboard,
Pool.
ping pong, all the things down here. There's like gym equipment on this side. I think there's a little kitchenette area over there if you need to wash dishes or make something if you don't have that. But this is something I've never seen before anywhere, and I bet you guys probably haven't either.
It looks like a pitch dark room. Well, maybe we're not supposed to be in here because we can't find the lights.
The doors are open, so I assume you can come in. There's a sign that says Whirlpool, adults only. There are 2 rooms that have Whirlpool tubs that you can come and use.
I've never seen that before.
I know, but I can't find the light.
Well, that's not, they're gonna think that's the light switch over there.
It's not, it's a fan, I just tried it.
Yeah, so there's no light switch, so you can come down and have a whirlpool in the dark.
Yeah, and the one on the other side is even a bigger whirlpool. You can have a double whirlpool.
They should let us know if anyone else has ever seen a whirlpool room in a campground.
And by the way, there are actually cleaning supplies to clean the tub when you're done.
We also have an old jukebox here. Look at this. I mean, that's definitely from the 50s or 60s, I would say. I know it doesn't work, but it has those big old kind of buttons. Reset, that's super cool. And over this way, there's just a random bike, Harley? I don't know if this is a Harley or not, but it's just all down here. You can kind of come, roam around. I think there's a kind of a kitchenette in the background. There's some random seats over here to sit down. And I think we said there's pool and ping pong and all that. So yeah, it's kind of a neat room. Oh, Anna found something else. What is this?
No. Doesn't work.
It's a...
An old telephone. What do you call these things that you...
Rotary phone.
Rotary phone? Is that what they're called?
You were live on those things.
I was.
It's not the first time she saw
I just didn't know what they were called.
We're not millennials, I swear. There's also this gorgeous walking trail here at the campground, which, to be honest, we did not know was here. We had no clue that you can go all the way down to the water. That's where we're going now. But take a look at this. Look at these giant trees here. And there's even like, they have like little white picket fences, kind of has directions on the walking trail. It's super, super cool. There's also this enormous field as well, Savannah.
Yeah, this is a beautiful spot. Going back to like, we didn't know this was like this. We had no idea this walking trail was here.
Here's more of these old kind of farm equipment machines that I mentioned before. And now I think right ahead of Anna, there's another one. So it's so cool how they did this.
Yeah, but I love the trees. I don't know what type of trees they are, but they kind of arch over the pathway, and how pretty is this?
Yeah, this is absolutely gorgeous. You'll see more this way in a second, but look at this. Like, what was this thing? It looks old, and it looks pretty rusted, but somehow it's very charming.
It is.
I see someone found a swing, huh?
Yeah, I was slightly nervous of it, but I guess it's on very big chains here. I don't think it's gonna go anywhere.
Yeah, it's on quite the tree. This is absolutely crazy, like the chains, huh?
Yeah.
Is it comfy?
It's not bad, actually. It's surprisingly kind of fun.
So we thought it would be a good time to talk about our plans for the RV. Like, what are we gonna do this year? We'll call it year one. And I think right now we're talking about like definitely doing more Nova Scotia, maybe some neighboring like provinces, the Maritimes specifically.
Maybe, but no promises there. We're definitely going to do a little bit of Nova Scotia. We don't have that much time, unfortunately. I wish we had a couple more months, but that's fine. We're just testing it out really right now. So a few things around Nova Scotia and maybe one or two neighboring provinces.
Now, we are looking for recommendations. So at some point, we're going to take this thing on the road and do a bigger trip.
Yeah.
But where should we go?
Yeah,
should we
like
go?
I'd love to do some of New England, upstate New York,
I mean,
Hudson Valley. Like
imagine if we could take it all the way west and go down where we were before, like around Zion and California. That'd be cool as well.
I'd also love to get to like Washington State and Oregon, California.
Wine country sounds good.
Yeah.
Right now.
You can walk all the way down here right to the water. There's a little path I noticed right there, a little footpath. Do you think people actually swim here in the summertime?
Well, I mean, you absolutely
when it's
could.
hot, maybe on a hot day.
There's also this door here. I mean, I naturally want to try to open this. Yeah, does not open, but try to imagine opening the door to the beautiful Bordor Lakes. I mean, you can see them right here and here, but it's still kind of a neat concept.
It is. It's a funny thing. It's kind of funny. We were talking about Bordor earlier, and that actually means, what did we say? It's French for golden arm. Arm of gold. Arm of gold.
Which is the campground.
Which is the name of the campground. And it's funny because I obviously heard Bordor before. We've driven by Arm of Gold a million times and now we're here. And I put two and two together the other day and I was like, oh, that makes sense.
You know what? I actually didn't know that and I grew up close to here. I bet you a lot of people don't know what Bordor means in English.
No, I bet you they don't.
Still cannot get over how beautiful it is down here. This campground, this Arm of Gold campground, has taken us by surprise. Definitely safe to say that, isn't it?
Yeah, and I'm very excited to see what we have coming up in the future. We honestly haven't planned anything yet, so we're going to be a little bit limited on where we can go because a lot of stuff books up throughout the summer. So we'll have to work around like availability, but I'm totally fine with that. I feel like we're going to find some fun places.
We hope you guys enjoyed this video today. We had a lot of fun filming it, that's for sure. This is the new life, I guess. Big changes that are going on in our lives.
Yeah, we really hope you guys are excited about it. Today was just a little brief intro of us like settling in, but in the future we'll be doing more exploring stuff for sure. Yeah, more exploring coming up, more Nova Scotia probably next. I would say more Nova Scotia coming up, and we cannot wait to share more of the adventures. If you don't know who we are, it's Trevor and Anna, Delightful Travelers. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hit like, hit subscribe, drop a comment. All that helps us out. All right, guys, that's it.
From Cape Breton, wishing you delightful travels.
See you soon.